November 21st from Las Bajas, Baja Sur, Mexico. Remember, when you're driving, these mirrors extend. If you're a driver one, just put it in. If you're going to get nailed on these narrow roads, there's going to be this mirror. You'll do fine. You can still see what you're doing. That one can be extended. This, because you don't see too many double lanes on the way down. This one, just suck it in. Today's post is going to be on bringing a big rig into Baja. Some of the things you know, we have some. This is our 4th year. We'll be here for 5 months. So a lot of you that have been here before probably know all this stuff. And for van people, I mean, van life is van life. You're much more flexible as far as that goes, but some things will be relevant to you too. So when you're crossing the border, we usually cross the Mexicali West, because we come down the I-5, stay at a place called El Centro and cross there. We've crossed at San Luis coming out of Yuma, but the San Luis crossing is very narrow, and you can't really park there and go inside and get your FMMs, which are right there, right by the border guard. You look over in a building on your right, that's where you get them. But they made us, and they let us park there, but it was a bit of a headache. Long story. Anyways, they made her go in, ID, buy hers, made me go in, buy mine. They separated us up. And then San Luis, if they make you move ahead like this, it's hard to find parking to walk back and get your FMM. So this is what you get when you cross at Mexicali West or anywhere. We paid, and this is November the 3rd, 2024, 1,434 pesos for two. And my wife just went in. I'll show you the video. Mexicali, it's very simple. It's such an easy place to cross. Right off Cesar Chavez, you're in. It's only a couple lanes. They don't get too many RVs there. They get kind of excited. It's fun. No headaches. At least we've had no headaches. And then you exit onto that second lane. I'll post that video on that. So that's your first crossing. Your first thing is getting through that border and get your FMMs. Get them stamped. They do it all the same in that building, and it's right there. Like, you don't walk more than 50 yards to get everything in one direction to get everything done. It is such a cool crossing. You do have half an hour of going through Mexicali, and that's a kind of it can be fun, but that's a cartel police area. We've never seen anything there, but if you're going to see anything, it'll be there. But Mexicali is considered to be one of the safest crossings in all of the borders on Mexico. So have no fear about that. Just, cautious. Don't go too slow, don't go too fast. Do the speed limits. Mind your manners. You don't want to speed on these roads anyways. We'll get to that. They suck. Right now I'm sitting here recording this, but I'm waiting for DHL Loomis to bring our Amazon.mex order in. We ordered our mirrors for the side by. Came in 5 days through Amazon Mex. We order time to time through Amazon Mex, and it's not a problem. It works really, really well. Let me just turn this around. It's going to squeak. We're in. This is what Baja Sunrise looks like. This is I call this a compound. It's gated. I just opened the gate for Loomis. It's very cash. We've never had a problem. Cool, because it's going to be, today in Celsius is going to be 28 with a bit of a breeze. Just a beautiful day. It can get really windy in Baja. Extremely windy in Baja. The north wind is what they really. We pause for station identification. Okay, when you're crossing the border, Mexicali, drive through there. Pesos. Of course, pesos have fluctuations on prices, but you want to have some when you cross. Pesos are king here. Some of the people we know, one couple, they have like 20 grand tucked away in a safe. The pesos, which sounds like a lot, but when you buy something, it takes a handful of pesos. We always bring like 6 to 10 grand across. We can fill up our big truck for about 3,000 pesos, and that's an F550 with diesel. So 3,000 pesos will completely fill that thing. Just to give you an idea, we use credit card almost everywhere though. Tarjeta, credito, so good. The credit card is very, very everywhere here. Way more than, we've been coming here 4 years, and more credit card than I've ever seen. They take it almost everywhere. Yeah, you want to watch when they fill, but they almost always go, Senor, Cielo. They point it out. It's a very, people are very aware of that going on. Food crossing the border. I know people that just stock their deep freeze coming into Mexico, and they've never, I don't know if anybody who's ever had, and I don't know everybody, but had their food checked. We don't bring much. a little few frozen things, vegetables. We make sure our fridge is pretty empty no matter which way we're going. Especially going into America or Canada, you want an empty fridge. That's where they're going to get you. And your yams and your onions and all that. The Americans they've always been really nice to us, but they will take things away and shake their finger at you. And I suppose you can get a ticket if they're in the mood for it. Other than that, we buy all of our food here. Red meat's very expensive. Chicken's more than reasonable. Compared to back home, I'm comparing just back to Canada. The gasolines are quite expensive here. It's as expensive at home, more like California prices than Kansas, if you look at it that way from America. So when you're crossing the border, your VINs, make sure all your VINs are accessible. On your vehicles, on your side by, they're going to look at all the VINs. Have them easy accessible, make sure every door can open. They may go through everything, they may not. Always go through there as if it's going to be a rubber glove up the old, you know what. Usually it's not, but be a Boy Scout, be prepared. Have all your paperwork them to death. Copies of everything. Copies. We have copies of everything. Let's just put it that way. And we have Mexican insurance and everything. The side-by is insured through Ride Baja. It's the only company we found that will insure side-by. And yeah, you can get trailer insurance from everybody, but actual side-by insurance, that when it comes off the trailer and you ride on the arroyo or the highway, Ride Baja seems to be the only company. None of that Mexican insurance is cheap. Nothing's cheap in Mexico anymore. It can be cheaper depending what you're buying, but this is not, it's not Mexico 20 years ago. So, but hey, it's beautiful here. We're not complaining about that. Just don't think you're going to go cheap in Mexico. You can save cost, yes, but anyways, we're completely insured. So ride Baja, you might want to look into that. We got here the VINs. Okay, now we get on the road. I'm gonna post some videos of the road. The roads are extremely narrow, and this year, and everyone will tell you who's crossed it, except for the old days when they were gravel, these are the roughest highways have ever been. I mean, there's some potholes there that will destroy a front end if you're not careful. But some of them are marked, most of them are not. Just stay frosty, and it's in sections. Some good, some bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not all the way.
Isn't that weird? Oh, look at the truck coming down.
Way up there, that's where we're going. And we'll be coming down the other side. Oh, no. Can't do that.
Oh, did you see it?
No, not till the last second. Oh my God. There's a lot of decent stretches. The decent stretches are incredibly narrow. We'll post some footage on that. On the extremely narrow. If you're not used to narrow roads, you're going to be by the time you get down to here, because it's 1,400 kilometers from the United States border to Cabo San Lucas. So you'll get good at those narrow roads. That's why I say talk to the left-hand mirroring. You'll see. That's the one that's going to get clipped by anything going the other way. Tires, we pack everything. We have 2 spares on 2 rims for the trailer. We have a spare for the truck. Tires can be hard to get, but they're not impossible by any means, especially the smaller tire shops. Yantera Rodriguez in La Paz. We looked at all the big shops. Nice sort of a smaller shop. They had trailer tires. You can get trailer tires. I couldn't find any for days. They had trailer tires. What a new one and a almost new used one. I'll post a video on that.
Okay, as I was saying before Bill nearly got his head taken off, we have to change it again, and just to make things extra special. See that dog shit? It's like right there. And it's not just like a pile, it's been spread. So you gotta really watch where you're walking, or you're gonna end up in the crap. Maybe I should try and move that for him before he tries to put the other tire away so he doesn't end up stepping in it, because that would be the absolute coup de grace for the day. is to have our final 170 kilometers with the smell of shit.
So you want, you know, be prepared. Boy Scout, think like a Boy Scout Girl Guide. Be prepared. Oh, the Militario checkpoints, there's 4 of them. 2 of them we got way through this year because they were searching some other people. Apparently they're asking for FMMs and they may want to look at your passports. No big deal. They are the Militario. They're not the police in the toilas that don't even have a ticket book. They're after pesos mostly. The Militario is Guardia Nacional. They are the true, it's a military. And we've never had a problem with them. And again, this year was just crazy. 2 of the checkpoints that waved through. I'll put some posts on that because we have been through a lot of parks in the 4 years that we've been down here. When we come to San Felipe, there's a bunch of parks there. They're expensive. Pretty nice here though. It's a pretty nice place. They got some really nice beaches, good side buying, all that kind of stuff. If you like doing that, water sports, swimming, all that. We stayed at Pete's and it was expensive, but we just stayed one night. We overnighted. Now we've stayed at all these places because they're quite far apart. So from the border to San Felipe is several hours, and if you're new and not used to narrow roads or potholes, it can take you most of the day to get to San Felipe, and you may want to shut down. We usually go right from the border, Rancho de Gonzaga Bay. That's pretty easy to miss, but if it's on Google, there's a little store on the right. You go and you pay. I think we paid like 400 pesos for the night, boondocking completely. But there's always people there. I'll post a video of that. You'll see it's a nice stretch of beach. It's nice. If you make it from the border to Gonzaga Bay, that's a good day's drive, and you'll realize where you are. You'll be looking out the window, and if you're not used to this kind of environment, you'll be like, wow, I can see why people come down here. And then after Gonzaga Bay, there's a couple places there actually. Bay, 6 in the morning, with their amazing display of outhouses. Our biggest outhouse collection I've ever seen in Gonzaga Bay. And then we usually you can go to, after that, Guerrero Negro. There's, I think I got some footage on that. There's a hotel we've stayed at in Guerrero Negro downtown. And before you get to town, there's a place called Mario's. People are familiar with Mario's. We've had no problem with either of those places. San Ignacio's is what we do after that. Usually, we didn't this year, but you can stay at a place called Rice and Beans, or Beans and Rice. Watch the power and water hookup there. Watch the power hookup. We blew our watchdog fuse there. Yeah, if you're just going to overnight there, I would just boondock. Just don't plug anything in. Just have a nice supper, relax. There's no beach or anything really right there. It's just a safe place to park. Mulahay is coming up next. We stayed at Villa Maria Isabella. There's several places there. It's a nice little town, and there is some beach around there. So Mulahay, nice little town. We don't stop there too much anymore. Villa Maria Isabella is where we stayed. That's a very well-established park. Again, the prices fluctuate. They're 400, 500 pesos and up. It depends. Mulahay is 20 kilometers from Santos Pac, Playa Santos Pac, and Playa Coyote, Barrita, Alburo, Coyote. There's a bunch of beaches there. We stay at Playa Santos Pac. This year we paid 200. I'll put the footage up of that. We've stayed many times at Santos Pac. 200 pesos. I heard it's gone up. We paid 200 pesos, and I had to let myself out in the morning because I'll post the footage. You'll see. Beautiful beach. Beautiful beach. After that comes Loreto Shores for us. Loreto Shores is in Loreto. It's pretty. There's a couple RV parks here, but if you've got a bigger rig, Loreto Shores is probably your best bet, and even then it can be tight. But we've always squeezed in there. Ishmael has run it for years, managed it. Very nice people. A combination of casitas, people that live there, and RV park, right on the water. Beach is okay. It can be windy, rocky, but it's even the bad beaches here are good. So Loreto's one thing about Loreto, it's hard getting fuel if you got a big rig, as you'll see. They don't have, their Pemex is tricky. If you're dragging a trailer in there, it can be a bit of an adventure, especially us. We're 66 feet long. We fuel up before and after. Or this year what we did was, I'll post out, we unhooked the trailer, and she went in with the truck, got fuel, about went the extra half kilometer, but it was much easier just with the truck. There's Ciudad Insurgentes. You can sort this out with Google. And Ciudad Constitucion. We've only stayed in Ciudad Constitucion a couple times. A place called La Misión. Nice RV park, empty, all the amenities, gravel parking lot, but all the amenities. Another place we stayed at was that's a pool too. Was La Pila, down by the Lays, on the far end of Ciudad Constitucion, and you got to wind your bow back a little ways to get to that one. Beautiful pools. Whoa! But it's pretty much true boondocking. I think there's some 15 amp plugins, but it's secure. It's a nice place. I'd recommend either one of those. Eventually we make it to we didn't touch any of that this year. We made it to La Paz. We come down now in 3 days. We go border, Gonzaga Bay to Santos Pac to La Paz. Oh yeah, then we did stay, and then we stayed a week at La Paz. But Maranatha was, like I say, $750 something, close to that, under 800 US for the month on the weekly rate thing, and they got a beautiful pool. It is a premier park, really nice. But you are half an hour from the beaches, but the beaches are Tecolote and Balandra, the close ones. You're close to La Ventana, you're close to Muertes, you're close to El Faro. There's some spectacular beaches around La Paz. And all the shopping. It's a city of 1 million people. It can be. I'll post some of that. It's nice. That's where we got our tires. Maranatha. Yeah, that's about the only big rig park there, unless you're going to go on the beach. And again, the beach, I know, we've talked to people that when they've left the Tecolote, they've left their 25-foot trailer and gone to town, come back and had the window broken and the laptop's gone. It's hard to leave things on the beach. That'll be your call. We don't do it. We don't have a dog. If you got a big dog, that can change the whole outcome if you're willing to leave your dog in the trailer. If you have the kind of dog that doesn't need the trailer. Because if you got a dog that eats people, quite often they'll leave the trailer. So then after La Paz, it's a very short drive. It's an hour and a half or whatever to Los Barriles. From Los Barriles, there's multiple parks. There's Playa Norte. That's gated. There's Martin Verdugo's. This is the rest of Martin Verdugo. I don't know what that is. Got a hard cap. There's this one, Baja Sunrise, by far the most expensive, on the far end of town. And then from here you're going to, we're 45 minutes from San Jose del Cabo, the airport, and again in about another half hour to Cabo San Lucas. There's Las Brillas, San Jose del Cabo, Cabo San Lucas, and in between it's like this is a premier side-by location. Premier. December, January, February, this place is, they call it Gringo Town. It is just side-by nuts. Everywhere. They have the Baja 300 here, and it's a pretty busy little place for very short tourist season here, very short. So, and there's no parks from here going south, like no parks for big rigs. You can go around the Horn and come up to Todos Santos, Los Cerritos. There's some big rig parks over Los Cerritos. Of course, van life, you'll be comfortable everywhere here. We've been over, I got some videos posted on our site there. We looked at all the La Ventana parks and all the Los Cerritos parks. I looked at all of those. Two things I might have not mentioned: agua, water, easy to find. Getting a hose to a tank in a truck, we've had trouble finding that. But as far as filling the 5-gallon jugs, not a problem. Stores, tiendas, agua purificada storage everywhere. Second thing, if you have DEF in a diesel truck, bring some DEF. We haven't never looked for it here. I've only heard it can be hard to find and expensive. I'm sure it's here like everything in Mexico. If you look hard enough, you can pretty much find anything. But we do bring extra gallons, so before you leave, at least the United States, I would, before crossing into Mexico, bring some DEF. We tried to make this informative and entertaining at the same time. And if you have any questions, just put them down below. We'll maybe we can answer them. You never know. Thanks for coming out. Marble Ramblers, over and out.